Our rice is cooked. You cook some rice.
Rice is cooked.
We didn't show that cooking rice, but that's pretty easy to do.
If we need to show them how to cook rice, they
Yeah,
probably need a.
Yeah, we're in trouble. We shouldn't be making Boudin.
Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? Captain Kobe coming at you live from fire station number 9 today on a big Sunday. Look, I got a great show lined up for you today. Today, we are gonna make Boudin, right? I had a few requests for Boudin, and I spoke to Johnny Mesh right here today, and he let me know that we're gonna make Boudin today at the station, and I asked them if we could come and film it, and I'm grateful that they said yes. All right, so stay tuned. We're gonna let you know everything you need to make Boudin. All right, John?
All right, well, first of all, thank Captain Kobe for having me on the show here.
Absolutely.
We're gonna make a batch of Boudin today at the station, and Kobe overheard us talking one day and asked if he could come video it, so here we are. Boudin, traditionally was just kind of to clean up the rest of the pig. Use everything on the pig when the old people were doing a boucherie. And nowadays we kind of made it a little easy on us. We use Boston butts.
Which from being the kind of the throwaway meat toward the end, it's a delicacy over here in South Louisiana, especially around Lafayette area. Boudin, I don't know anybody can touch us in Boudin. I'm gonna say that around the state.
So we use Boston butts, which is actually the shoulder of the pig. It's not the butt, but pretty simple. Boudin is really a pretty simple, recipe. Pork meat, we use a little liver, onions, dehydrated green onions are what I put in mine, and seasoning, and that's really the basis of Boudin. And of course rice, and then we stuff it in a casing.
Well, the difference in traditional sausage making, where you just ground your meat up and then you stick it in a casing, you may just season it up and put it in the casing. You actually have to cook this down right here. So we cook it, we cook the meat down, we cook some rice with it, we put it all together, we season it very well with Captain Kobe's Cajun seasoning, of course, and then we kick it out of there. We put it in the casing like you would do a sausage, and that is pretty much how Boudin is made. We're going to show you exactly step by step how to do that. So stay tuned. We'll get the crew together. We're going to make things happen. All right, everybody, listen, we got a lot of meat to cut. We got some onions to cut, and I wanted to show that this is a crew thing, right? I find that's kind of dying around the fire service with the cell phones and the video games and all those things that's happening out there today. We losing a little bit of that, what makes you a crew. So Scooter here's dad was my district chief when I was a young guy, and I was actually an engineer like Johnny, and I cooked a lot. So all of those traditions get passed down, where the captain will pass it down to the engineer, that John is going to be the next up and coming guy cooking. He's going to pass that down to Scooter, and that tradition carries on throughout the fire service. And I kind of find that's kind of leaving us a little bit, kind of dying a little bit. But when Captain Kobe's around, I promise you, we do everything together as a crew. We make things happen, and I want to keep that Cajun tradition alive. So we're going to all work together today to get this done as a crew. So let's get with it. We got a lot of meat to cut.
I'm going to the country, baby, do you want to go? Well, I'm going to the country, do you want to go? I'm going to some place I ain't never been before. I'm going where the water tastes like wine. Well, I'm going where the water tastes like wine.
All right, everybody, listen, we got all our meat cut up. We got our onions cut up, prepped up. We got the liver, it's pretty much already cut up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of do a traditional way of making Boudin. John is gonna show you that. You kind of ball all that meat together, ball the onions, all that stuff together. And I'm gonna brown mine a little bit. It's kind of just another way to get it done.
Play on it.
Yeah, a play on it, exactly. But in the end, we're gonna mix it all together. We're gonna have a great boudin or something. All right. So what I want to do is I'm gonna season my meat. I have an onion cut up and I have a little bit of liver ready to go. And then Johnny, we're gonna let you take off and explain everything that you're gonna need to bring your side of what we need to do.
All right, here we go. So, like Kobe said, we're kind of doing two different plays on it right here. The old traditional way of making boudins, they balled everything together and kind of deboned it, you know, because they were using the leftovers, right?
That's right.
So they took whatever they had left, balled it, pulled all the meat off, and that's kind of where their recipes came from. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. I don't think Kobe mentioned it. This total recipe right here is gonna make around 40 pounds of boudin.
Okay.
You know?
Good. I'm glad you said that because people always ask for measurements and I never do it. I just kind of slips my mind. You know, that's kind of how we cook around here.
Yeah. So
thank you.
That is definitely how we cook. We don't really, you know, Cajuns. We just kind of throw things together, right?
Exactly.
So, and this is gonna make around 40 pounds of boudin.
All right.
We use 4 Boston butts, which about 8 to 10 pounds a piece. Debone what we want. We took what we want off of them.
Yeah.
Kind of cut some of the fat down. So we're hoping to get down to about 25 pounds of, 20 to 25 pounds of meat.
Right. So we had I think we had 34 pounds of pork roast, if my calculation is right, and you got 5 pounds of
5 pounds of liver.
pork liver. Now I want to say that it's not calf liver, it is pork liver.
Yeah.
All right, and we had probably about 5 pounds of onions, and you're gonna need at least 1 can of Captain Corpus Cajun seasoning to make all that magic happen. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah. So at least 1 8-ounce can, which would probably, we like it a little
Spicy.
juiced up.
That's
So we'll
right.
probably go a little heavier on the seasoning.
Okay.
But we're gonna bring all this all together in one batch and be a awesome creation.
I like it.
that.
I hope so.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna hit the meat with a little seasoning, but primarily our boudin is gonna be seasoned from the water that we're cooking in.
Right.
So we're gonna go ahead and season that water pretty heavy.
Okay.
Put about 3/4 of a can of Captain Kobe's in there, and then we definitely we don't throw away the bones. We're gonna
ball that meat off of there. We want to take every bit that we
we're
can.
gonna
That's
ball
right.
all that meat off the bones. So we'll go in with the bones first.
We gon' jump in the water, stay drunk all the time.
And then
Well, that fat's gonna ball out of there too. It's gonna give you a good flavor in there. You're gonna have your water seasoned up, so you're gonna get it in your meat. It's gonna penetrate there. You're gonna get a little
definitely. And then once we grind it,
bit. You're gonna have everything you need.
get it all in there.
All right.
And then we're gonna go right on top of that with some whole onions. And then when we get ready to grind them, we'll cut them in half so we could fit them in the neck of the
right.
the neck of the grind.
Let me get these ends cut off right there. We'll take care of that in just a second. All right, come on right here. So you already see that I seasoned the top of this meat right here. I'm gonna season mine a little bit different. You hear that? That's kind of what makes that magic happen, right? John, I tell you what, since your hands are dirty, come on in and hook me up right there.
As Cajuns, we like to cook with our hands.
Everything is with our hands, that's right. Ah, that's hot, watch out. And while Johnny is gonna ball his onions all together with there, I went ahead and cut me 4 onions. We got them cut up. I'm gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do a browning process as we would almost be making like a rice and gravy, pork in the gravy, all right? All right. So let them know, Johnny, you wanna add your liver now? You wanna add your liver?
We can go ahead and add the liver to the ball right now.
I'm gonna do a little bit. You're gonna save a little bit of liver for mine too.
Yeah.
I like to brown it all together. I got you. Let me help you out.
So like I said, You adjust the liver to what you like. We're gonna cook all that we think we're gonna need now, and then
And
we'll
then
adjust the
put in
liver flavor
accordingly,
later.
That's right. Perfect.
Once again, I think Kobe mentioned one time, but this is pork liver. You don't want
Right.
to use beef liver.
That's right. Everything here is pork.
Pork.
Boudin made of pork. That's right.
That's right. All right, so we got all our onions cut, sitting right here on the top. They're gonna steam, do what they need to do. We're gonna go ahead and cover it. In about an hour to hour and a half, we're gonna go ahead and check it, make sure the meat's starting to get tender.
Right.
You know, you don't want to overball it, because then when you grind it, it'll be mushy. You know, so
But that Buster But's pretty tender too.
Yeah.
So don't take too much. I mean, it'll harden up as you boil it, but it'll kind of want to start falling apart too. And then when you grind that all up, it gets too mushy.
right. So
wanna
you
have
just you want it you know, kind of tender but firm still. You know,
Gotcha.
you don't want to boil it down to
Sure.
nothing. So
Absolutely.
about an hour and a half, we're gonna check it, see where we at, and then if we need to go a little longer, we'll go to 2 hours, and then usually if you need to push it to 2 hours, usually at that mark it's done.
Well,
You know, so-
same for here. Go ahead and get a shot in here. And as you can see, we're just getting this rolling, kind of start to brown a little bit. And what we're gonna do is brown this down real good. We're gonna get a good little sear on that. And then once that happens, we're gonna add these onions in there. We're gonna cook that down. So I would say in the same process, whereas hour and a half, probably about an hour, we're gonna look into this, see what it looks like. And then same thing, we don't want it too mushy. We're gonna have it just right, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, we've been going about 30, 40 minutes. I don't remember exactly how much we had right here. I just want to show you the difference in the two. We're about ready to put these onions in here. So as you can see, we got this cooking. We got a little stick going with that, right? And you see all these little grimis in there. It's gonna help us make what we need to make, right? It gives you that flavor that you need. Okay, about to drop these onions in there. Yeah. Oh, cook together. And I'm gonna tell you, Johnny, you know what makes that good right there? That liver, boy. That liver
yeah.
gives it that good. Ow. All right. We'll come back in about an hour. Test them where we at. About an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. And
Should be close there.
we'll be close. We'll show you what we got. Stay tuned. All right, listen, we're a little shy of 2 hours right here of what we've been cooking. Johnny, you ready on your side?
I'm ready.
I'm ready on my side. And Scooter, come on in here and let me give you a good way to tell if you're ready or not is when you can take this and push it through and cut it easy like that. It's ready. It's gonna grind well. You don't want it to be falling apart. And you can see some of that is kind of starting to fall apart. That liver kind of does it that way. That's in there. But it looks fantastic and it's ready to be ground up. All right, Johnny, how about you, man?
Same on this end. Same thing. Cut a few pieces. It's real nice and tender. It's gonna grind up good. So we ready here too on the boiling side.
Even on your livers, right?
Liver's good.
Yeah, livers.
Onions are tender.
Yeah, your liver tends to be a little bit tougher when you want to cut through it, but that's just liver. That's how it goes.
That's
right?
it.
All right, well, we're gonna get this prepped up, ready to put in the grinder, and our rice is cooked. You cooked some rice.
Rice is cooked.
We didn't show that cooking rice, but that's pretty easy to do.
If we need to show them how to cook rice, they
Yeah,
probably
we-
need a.
Yeah, we're in trouble. We shouldn't be making Boudin.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, we moved this in the air conditioner over here. What I'm going to do is we're going to take this meat and we're going to take all these grimis and all that stuff off the bottom. We're going to put it in this pan and then we're going to take everything out of Johnny's side of the pot and mix that all together, right?
All right.
So let me get a little help right here, John.
I'm going to the city. I got to.
Isn't that gorgeous? We can make a gravy just with that right there.
Beautiful, beautiful.
All right, it's gonna be a little messy right here, but
All right.
let's get you going right there.
We're slacking a slotted spoon at station 9, so
Hey, we
we're gonna
make do
use
with
a
what
colander.
we
That's
make
it.
do
Huh?
with what we got.
We got a colander. Here we go.
There you go. Probably work better anyway.
A little warm.
And you can see as we brown that down now, the meat's turning a little bit different right there. Same thing, you can cut right through that meat. Perfect. Look at the meat coming off that bone. I like it.
Well, I'm going to the city. I got to get away.
Like we told y'all, you don't want to discard any of this liquid. We're gonna use that to season our rice. Or at the end, once we grind it, and kind of moisturize everything.
Where I'm going, I just can't say. I might even leave the USA. I'm gone where the water tastes like wine. Oh, do it!
All right, we got probably about 90% of that meat out of there. We're gonna tilt it, get us a little slaughter spoon, get the rest of that stuff, and get prepared to get this ground up. Obviously, we can't touch it right now because it's boiling hot.
It's hot.
It's hot, hot. Stay tuned, we come. All right, Johnny, you ready?
We ready, baby.
We're gonna start grinding. Let me tell you how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna put you a little bit of meat. You can go ahead and feed it. And then while you're kind of doing that, I'm gonna kind of debone the meat off the bone right here. Where we get all that flavor. I really like that meat close to the bone. And then we'll get moving. We're almost ready to make these things happen.
Let's do it. Let's get the grinding.
All right, let's go. What we're trying to do is mix it up a little bit. We're gonna get some of the stuff that we browned out on in the pot that we browned well as much as some of the stuff that we boiled, where you get a good mix of that flavor in there. So it's not all gonna be just liver on one side. It'll be a good mix of everything. Our onions in there as well.
Long as I got mine.
All right, the next step of this is mixing this meat. This is kind of a pretty precise process right here. I say precise. We have probably about 35 pounds of meat, 36 pounds of meat. We have about 15 cups of rice. We'll make 15 cups of rice. The mixture to where you mix the water and the rice and the meat all together, it's kind of a fine line. If you put too much water, then it makes it too mushy. If you put too less water, then it makes it real ricey. And so the mixture kind of got to be just right in there. You have a trick?
No trick. It just the more you make it, the more you kind of figure it out.
more comfortable
you know
to it.
how it goes and whatnot.
Well, what we'll do is we'll count.
Yeah.
We'll count the cups we do today and try to get some kind of measurement out of that, so everybody out there can know. And we'll get to mixing.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Once again, really no measurement here. We just kind of season it like you would season everything else. Just kind of what you think's enough. It's one of them taste and add kind of deals.
Okay. And of course, we fill everything to the top, so it's hard. It's never gonna be easy to stir all this together.
That's it. And once again, this is just dehydrated green onions. That's all it is.
And they're gonna get rehydrated here in just a few minutes when we add this water.
does take quite a bit more water than you might imagine.
Oh, absolutely. That rice is supposed to dry.
That meat absorbs a lot more moisture too after you grind it.
How many cups we had so far?
It's about number 5.
I'm going to the country, baby, do you want to go? Well, I'm going to the country, do you want to go? I'm going to some place I ain't never been before. I'm going.
You gotta have a strong stirring hand when you're messing with all that, boy.
Oh, you
Put your cramp in your shoulder.
you're gonna find out how strong you are for sure.
All the time.
Done.
Done.
Tap a knife.
All right, I'm gonna take over for
All
you.
right.
So I know it's probably a little hard for the camera to hear, but you know when you're getting pretty close to the right amount of moisture, when you kind of hear that squishing sound, you know, which this is pretty close right here. I think we got the moisture right on point.
Leave the USA. I'm gone where the water.
You want to mix it good because you don't want to have a big old clump of rice on one side and you don't want to have a big old clump of green onions. You got to make sure you mix that real well. Even if you have to switch arms or just take a little break.
We'll get you a
I
good
hope you
partner.
got 2 people to help you because
Yeah.
no, you might need them. I'm glad Johnny was here today because I was shoulder screaming. How
You like the
feeling?
green onion mix?
I like the green. It looks good. It got green almost every side. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see that it's in there. Spread out pretty evenly as you see it. I think Johnny, let's add a little bit more. What you thinking?
Yeah, let's hit it with a little more juice.
We did a little taste test. I think we need a little more juice, maybe a little more green onion, and definitely need some more seasoning, right?
Can't go wrong with a little extra Captain
Come on,
Kobe's, man.
Come on, man.
Tastes like wine. Oh, do it.
Here, when we make things, look, it's always good to taste. I know some people like a precise measurements, but sometimes when you cooking and you only, maybe this call for 40 pounds of meat, we only got 35. You got to be able to adjust on the fly. So one thing that we always do as we cook is we taste as we go. Hey, I need a little bit more. Like when we were browning the meat a while ago, hey, we put a little bit more seasoning. And good, thank God, because when we got here, we still needed to add even more. So we would have been adding way more if we didn't kind of season as we went. All right, how you liking that, John?
I'm liking it.
A little bit better.
Looks good.
I hear the squishy now a little bit better. I
A
like
little
it.
more color to it with the green onion.
I
So
like. Okay.
I think we're good here. And you
One
know,
more taste test and see.
we could taste test it again, but like when you're making sausage or boudin, you know that's gonna marinate in the casing. So the way it tastes right now, initially when you make it, it'll be a little bit different than tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna taste. It is gonna
I think the seasoning is perfect.
absorb that seasoning a little better, you know.
Right.
So I think we're good. Let's go ahead and finish it up.
Roger that. Let's put it in some casing.
All right, so we're just filling up the stuffer here. Just a little 5-pound stuffer. Doesn't do a lot, but if you take your time, you'll get it done. We get us our casing here. Get you a good piece. And we're going straight into a bowl of clean fresh water. You want to rinse. This isn't a heavy salt water solution. You want to just go ahead and rinse all that extra salt off of there. And then we're going to open it up. fill it with a little fresh water here. And we're gonna run a little water through the casing as well to rinse any salt that might have got on the inside.
No use of you running, I still wasting your time.
And that's it, first 5 pounds down.
Right. The next phase in this, where we don't have a big old pile of boudin all piled up on us, we're just going to spin it. Use about 10, 12 inches, however you make yours. They don't have to be perfect, but they do got to be fairly consistent. You don't want to have one this long and one this long.
Yeah, I try to match mine to the vacuum bags I'm gonna be using.
Exactly.
You know, so whatever fits, whatever bag you use. Forward one, backwards one.
You got a home, yeah, long as I got mine.
All right, while Johnny and his crew's over there finishing stuffing some more boudin, we're gonna put this on the pit and we're gonna make us a little bit of smoked boudin. What we want to do is, as this comes, try to get some of this moisture off of there as much as I can, so that it accepts that smoke. Back and check on that in a few minutes. And a little smoked boudin on top of some just regular boudin. All right, everybody, as you can see, we made about, what we come out with, 45 pounds?
45 pounds.
45 pounds of boudin. Got about 40 pounds right there, roughly. And then we probably have about another 5 pounds on the pit. We did take a little bit off, just so we can taste and see how great a boudin we made, right?
Can't make it and not taste it, huh?
Gotta have it, right? We eat it just like this as a snack. I do anyway. We probably stop at the store and get you, 2-3 links of boudin as a snack or even as a meal. But today we're gonna try it on the good old-fashioned French bread, the boudin sandwich. That's the way I like it. So, without further ado, let's see what kind of boudin we had, right? We didn't really, we tasted it, in the pot, but we didn't really get to taste it how it came on out. I'm gonna keep mine with the skin on there since we
How I say that in French? Ça c'est bon.
Ça c'est bon. Pretty damn good boudin, baby.
Not bad.
I like it. No? Well, there you have it. A nice, simple, easy way to make boudin. Never really nothing easy about it, but it's a pretty simple recipe. Get everything put together. You got to grind it. You got to case it. It's a little tough thing to do. That's why we make 40 pounds at a time. It's not easy just to make 5 pounds and to go through all that mess. So we make a lot when we do make it. So as you can see, made a great boudin. Try this recipe. Tell me how you like it. And as always, keep cooking and we'll see you in the kitchen.